Alright, so this is my 2013 Can-Am Commander 1000. Purpose of this video here today is to show you what I did to remove the upper and lower A-arms to replace bad bushings. The lower A-arm, very straightforward and simple. You got a bolt here, you got a bolt there, you pop those out. I removed the lower pinch bolt here, which holds the ball joint in place. I got the whole lower A-arm just out of my way because the ball joint was shot, needed to be replaced. So there's that. The bushings on the lower, they're small. You can pry them out with little to no effort. They come out almost, like I said, very simply. The upper is where the issue comes into play. So to start with, the head of the bolt. The head of the bolt for the upper actually slides towards the front, and it'll hit the radiator in, in no time flat. So what I did was, I did not remove the radiator. As you can see, I actually just took the two top bolts out, which allowed me to lift this thing up out of the grommets and pull it forward. Just by pulling it forward that extra, inch and a half, it gave me enough space to, kind of pry this thing out, meaning the upper A-arm. So if you picture the upper A-arm still being in place, running, on this bolt and where the bushing would be, gently tap on the back end of the bolt here to get this thing to come forward. You don't want to go slamming on this thing and have it just fly, because you're putting it towards the fins and the fan shroud stuff on the radiator. So once it comes back far enough, you'll see it drops down. At that point there, you don't want to come much further with it because you start to hit the radiator. At that angle that you're seeing here, I was able to have the whole top A-arm be down and off of the support and move backwards enough to obviously get it to come off of the bushing and the bolt. To get enough play to do that, took the lower shock mount bolt off, took the tie rod end off, and then had to drill out. In my case here, I had a pot rivet that held the brake line. It would run here and then over. With the brake line still being connected here, it did not give it enough play to go, this way enough. So I just drilled out that one pot rivet to give myself enough play. So by gently, beating this thing back with a rubber mallet, I got the entire upper A-arm to slide off of the bushing and the bolt and come out. The final tip here, which hopefully, if nothing else, this saves you a lot of time and effort, is the upper A-arm bushings are much larger than the lowers. These things actually run about halfway. I don't want to do that. They run about halfway, front to back on each side, and they're pretty snug. So what I wound up doing after fighting these things for about 15-20 minutes at first was I had to take a screwdriver, pry on the end, and when I pried it out to get it to about this point right here where they were sticking out this much, I took my utility knife, cut a hole in the bottom so that I could easily blow a screwdriver through using the rubber mallet. What you get is this effect right here. So picture this being, inside yet. Now you got your screwdriver, you blew it through the bottom of the bushing, and now your screwdriver's up against the A-arm, and you can use your A-arm and your screwdriver with the leverage to just pry it out. Once I did that, these things slid right out. The first one I fought for 15-20 minutes, 2 or 3 beers, to try to get that thing to come out. And if you keep prying it with a screwdriver without doing what I just said, slicing a hole in the bottom, blowing the screwdriver through, and using the A-arm as your leverage, I guess it'll come out. But I think I'd still be here and, halfway through a damn 30-pack by now. So what I just mentioned, I believe, is a much simpler, easier way, and hopefully it'll be a great tip for you to conveniently remove them. It's going to be the same process on both sides as far as removing those bushings. From a reassembly standpoint, I don't really foresee it being much different. If I run into problems when I reassemble and come up with any kind of ideas to make that simpler, I'll do a new video and repost that. But again, the point of this was to show it's pretty straightforward and simple to get the upper and lower out to do your bushings. Just move your radiator. Be careful with that bolt that you don't put the head through the radiator. A little bit of patience, a little bit of angling, pulling, and a rubber mallet. You will be able to get this thing to come back at the right angle where it will clear the frame, your DPS mount and everything. It will slide out and drop into place. And like I said, the bushings, if you use what I said with prying them out a little bit and then, scoring a hole in the bottom, blowing the screwdriver through, and just, using the leverage of the arm to back them out, you should have this done in no time. What took me, a couple hours in a 6-pack should probably take you, 40 minutes and, well, you can still do the 6-pack, but it won't take you nearly as long. All right, hopefully that helps.